There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
Okay, you do the chime. Okay, give me 1 second. My husband's back. I want to. Okay. I know. Perfect. Good morning. We invite you to take your seats and prepare for this morning's service. On behalf of the Worship Committee, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. My name is Bonnie Stronach. Our minister is the Reverend Stephen Robinson. Today we have a special guest speaker, our own Deb Matherly. Ms. Matherly has been practicing transportation planning and leading studies for 45 years. For the past 25 years, her favorite work has been related to aspects of emergency transportation, including transportation equity, resilience, and emergency planning. Ms. Matherly has been the principal investigator for 9 of the 14 Transportation Research Board guidebooks that she has participated in, as well as many, many other studies. Deb is currently co-chair of the UUCC Adult Religious Exploration Committee and the Social Action Committee, and is active in the Worship Committee and the Music Program. We'd like to remind you to stay connected with our community by keeping an eye on the following communications. Our recurring events are included in the calendar with your order of service, but special events are also coming up. We provide an emailed newsletter every Thursday to keep you informed about these upcoming events. Make sure that we have your email address. Our services are live streamed, recorded, and photographed. So to protect the privacy of children and youth, we do not include individuals under 18 without written permission. Adults, if you do not wish to be part of our recordings, live streams, and photographs, please remain seated in the alcove, that's this area over here, during the entire service. Please note that devices to help the hearing impaired are located on the wall in the alcove. To help our worship flow smoothly, please email all requests for announcements to worshipchair@uucolumbia.org. The service leader will gladly share them at the close of Sunday's service. We warmly welcome families with children and offer childcare during our service for children up to 4 years old. We also have a designated seating area for children 4 to 7 and their parents or caregivers. Feel free to bring the toys available in the back of the social hall for quiet play. That seating area is also in the alcove against the wall. Today, after the story for all ages, children will remain in the service with their parents or caregivers. Today's flowers, which are always so beautiful, were donated by our flower team. The flower team always welcomes new members. Please see Maura Farley if you'd like to join the team. And there's Maura. So now please silence all devices as we center ourselves on today's service and listen to the prelude.
I welcome the singers of Chalice Voices forward to sing Hope Lingers On by Lisa Schneckenberger, arranged by Andrea Ramsey.
When love is gone, my mother, when love is gone, in our darkest hour hope lingers on. My father, when peace is gone, my father, when peace is gone, in our darkest hour hope lingers on. I will not hate, and I will not fear in our darkest hour. Hope lingers here, my sister, when equality's gone, my sister. Gone in our darkest hour, hope lingers on. My brother, with tolerance gone, tolerance gone, with tolerance gone, in our darkest hour, hope lingers on. I will not hate, and I will not fear in our darkest hour. Hope lingers here, my love, when honor is gone, when honor is gone, in our darkest hour, hope lingers on. My country, when justice is gone, when justice is gone, in our darkest hour, hope lingers on.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Now, if you're willing and able, please rise in body or spirit and join me in the congregational covenant that's in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. You can be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse, can you hear me? Is that a diverse and non-creedal religion? Our community is founded on deeds, not creeds. We're a covenantal religion, meaning that we don't have to believe the same to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, and compassion and dignity. We place love at the center of our values, embracing and welcoming all people. We're delighted to welcome all our guests and visitors. Today, my husband, Bill, is assisting with bringing the microphone to our visitors. So if you are willing and able, please stand and wait for the microphone to reach you. Share your name and where you're from, and if you've brought guests, we invite you to introduce them as well. Do we have any visitors? Oh.
Just name where you're from. Name is James Shannon. My family's from Sumter, South Carolina. Is that it?
Whatever you want to share.
Well, I keep visiting. I'm still Lucy Walters from Shandon.
Welcome. Got everybody? And visitors, if you'd like to learn more about UUCC, visitor cards are in the pocket on the back of each chair. Please fill one out and place it in the collection plate so we can email you about our events. Our board members and committee chairs welcome your questions and comments. Board members wear green name tags. Thank you for being here. Today's chalice lighter is Linda Brennison. Linda joined us in 2005. She enjoys being a part of the worship committee at UUCC. Spirit of light and life, come unto us.
Our opening song is from the Justice Choir songbook, and I am going to invite you to sing it with me, but you'll notice that you're not going to have printed music or words for this. We'll walk through it together. Resilience is a song by Abby Battinas, and she writes, "Resilience is a mindset born in the hardest days when you're scared or sad or tired, when progress toward your goal is slow and the barriers seem impenetrable, and yet you keep going, because somewhere deep down you know that what you're fighting for will be so much better. As a 3-time cancer survivor, I continue to learn about resilience." Please stand to join in singing me in this to join me in singing this song. You can repeat after me. Resilience, resilience. We are strong, shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder. Keep moving on, keep moving on. Resilience, resilience. Make a new plan, make a new plan, stand up again, and say yes we can, and say yes we can. We're gonna repeat it so the words will become more and more natural. Here we go. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say yes we can. Resilience.
Our opening words are from Eleanor Roosevelt. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I have lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing that you think you cannot do. Again, Eleanor Roosevelt.
And now we're going to invite the children to come forward for the story for all ages.
All right. Okay, great. Okay. Before the cake, and show them the picture, and before the peas, and you can see can you see the peas? Can you see that? Okay. Before the laugh, oh, can you turn it? Okay. Before the seas, and look, he's scared, and then he's ready to go in the water. Before the blocks, and before the growth, see, he's too small, and then what happens? Can you turn it? Okay. Then he's able to grow. Before the friend, see, he's all alone, and then before the no, see, got a friend. She's kind of puzzled, and then she figured it out. Before the team, can you see that? Can you see that? Down on the team. Before the ride, oh look, he's trying to learn to drive. And now he figured it out. Before the heart, and before the pride, look, he's studying hard, and then look, wow, each recipe we undertake can rise or fall, can burn or bake. But when we break, we learn to mend. Have you ever had to say you're sorry for something? Have you ever broken something? Yeah. When breezes blow, we learn to bend. Remember then, with every try, sometimes you fail. And what happened here? Everybody else was the other way and she was turned around. Sometimes you fail, but sometimes you fly. What matters most is what you take from all you learn before the cake. Does that make sense? Okay. So what do you think about that? Have you ever learned things from making mistakes? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Deb. Now it's time for Candles of Community. If you have a personal joy, sorrow, or concern to share from this pulpit, you can email or text our administrator by noon on Friday. You can also pick up a candle in the foyer before the service to share in person. We'd like to let everyone know that we have an active caring community whose members wear yellow name tags and are available to those in need. If you have a candle, you can please come forward to share your joy or your concern.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So good to see you. My name is Sylvia Brown, and I am going to become an expat. I'm going to be moving to Thailand first. And so that's what I've been getting ready for, all the background stuff, foreground stuff. And so I just wanted to officially say that to you and let you know I'm feeling you. I feel you. I'm going to miss you, and I'm not going to miss you because I'm going to be thinking about you all the time. I'm a music person, a song person, so this is what I feel in my heart to sing right now, just a little bit of. I've got so much to thank God for. So many wonderful blessings and so many open doors. A brand new mercy. Along with each new day. That's why I praise you. And for this I give you praise for waking me up each morning, for starting me on my way, for letting me see the sunshine of a brand new day, for brand new mercies, along with today. And I hope that it's been a blessing to you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia.
My name is Richard McLeod, and this is my sidekick, Linda. We have a joy we'd like to share with you.
Today, May 31st, is the traditional Memorial Day. We are lighting a candle to remember all of the soldiers that have given their lives for this country for the last 250 years. This is also a candle of joy for the safe return of our grandson, Tyler Winters, from a second deployment to Poland. Tyler comes home to his wife and baby girl in Savannah. He is a career Army, and they as a family will be moved to another base in the next few months. We are very proud of Tyler and his commitment to protecting our country.
Hi, everyone. My name's Elisa, and today I wanted to light a candle of joy because today is my mom's 38th birthday.
No.
Hi, I'm Alma. This is a candle of concern. My brother-in-law was taken to the hospital this past week from a fall. And once they got him in there and started checking tests and stuff like that, he is completely covered in cancer. So he is being taken to hospice until he passes. So this is just to keep him in your thoughts.
And finally, we light one candle for all our, oh, we have another, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, Milo. Oh, people are hiding back there, oh my goodness.
So last weekend I was here and, I updated you guys. And hi, I'm Milo, if you don't know me, visiting from Scotland. I updated you guys that my mom has stage 4 pancreatic cancer and she is dying. We are staying one more additional week to get just some extra time with her. She seems to be deteriorating pretty quickly. And it's not peaceful like you would think, which is what I assumed it would be. So it's very frustrating just trying to make it as peaceful as possible for her. She did have to go to the hospital yesterday because she's not keeping down any fluid or food or anything, and not even keeping down medicine, which is really making her suffer. So she went to the hospital. She's doing much better today, and they think maybe she'll be able to go home tomorrow because that's where she really wants to die. And but they said that her bowels basically have stopped working due to like a mixture of opioids and the tumor growth and pressing against her intestines and things. So we just hope that after this she can go home. She can try to get as much peace as possible before she passes. And we're just grateful we get to spend one more week with her. And I just want to light one more candle for her.
It's really hard to speak any words after Milo's statement. So I didn't plan to come up here. I don't like coming up here. I like you guys, okay, but I don't like coming up here and saying anything about it. But today has just been too full, and the last few days have been too full. And so I will try to find some words. But our choir anthem, believe it or not, was put together in one rehearsal. So I am very grateful to Anna, who can do that with whomever shows up. And Hope Lingers On was the anthem this morning, so that's important here. Resilience was the hymn. That's really important in what I wanted to say. And this chair, when I saw it sitting out here today, I almost couldn't take it anymore because it means probably very little to most people. It's a chair, and it's actually comfortable. It kind of matches the place. Deb sat in it and did a lovely story for the children. I hope it just sits here somewhere close by forever. It came with the building when this building was purchased by our congregation in 1985. These were our stackable chairs. They do stack. There are very few remaining. Some were squirreled away, and I won't explain that. But some of us have a passion for squirreling away things that matter to oneself. So its maiden trip back to where it once was is today. Some of you may have seen a quick announcement that didn't go anywhere about June 15th, which was to be a kind of a conversation with Historic Columbia, which we didn't get started on soon enough to make it really happen. So that's not going to happen. But that was to look at the history of this land that we're sitting on, the history of the Tree of Life, the synagogue, who first put a building on this land, and then along comes, guess who? UUFC, that's the Fellowship of Columbia, who bought the building. So that's this June 15th, 1951 was the groundbreaking for building this building. So you can see where this is going. I just couldn't help but come up here and just try not to, be drama queen or something. But it really is so special. But a chair is a chair. So should I finish my corny statement? It's the people who sit in it and have.
Imaginary candle. But today my concern is, my name is Joe. I was in the U.S. Air Force for 24 years. And my concern is for our beautiful country. When we're gonna start for fighting for peace and saving lives? When we're gonna have that? Just think about, 80,000 women and children, innocent people died in a Gaza war. And what do you think about this 168 children died in a war against Iran? And another 2,000 or 3,000, I don't even know the numbers exactly, people died because we started the war against Iran. But when are we gonna start as a nation to fight for peace, to fight for saving lives, stop wars? And look at the result. How much we pay for gas, how much we pay for food, bread, sugar, cooking oil, butter. Do we need these wars to start these wars and kill tens of thousands of people? I don't think so. So my concern is for my beautiful country, which I served for 24 years. And this is what's happening. I'm kind of shocked. Is this what I fought for 24 years? For what's happening these days, It's just sad. Thank you, folks.
My name is Breed Love, And I have been thrilled, excited, delighted since Tuesday, because in spite of all the things we've been doing, rallying, testifying, sending emails, joining other groups, it has seemed hopeless. But on Tuesday of this week, we had a breakthrough. And that is because some Republicans joined the Democrats who were fighting against the redistricting of District 6, our only last remaining district that hadn't been gerrymandered already. Yay! And so I light this candle because I think there's hope. If that could happen, there's no telling what we can do next.
Thank you. And now we do light one other candle for all our unspoken joys and concerns. Can we pause for a few moments to ponder these joys and concerns? This congregation proudly participates in our Michael Sullivan Share the Plate initiative, where half of our monthly cash collection is donated to a local charity. It's our way of giving back and supporting our community. We welcome Vicki Ringer to speak on behalf of this month's Share the Plate recipient. Vicki is from Planned Parenthood, South Atlantic.
I thank you all for having us today, or having me today, on behalf of Planned Parenthood South Atlantic. If you cannot tell, I'm losing my voice. I'm getting a bit of a cold, and so I'm going to apologize in advance, but I'm going to go home so I don't spread this any further to y'all. It has not been a fun morning, but I could not show up here. We are so grateful for the support that we get from this congregation, not only through your tithes and your gifts of money, but for the support you give us when you come out, when you call your members of the Senate and the House and take action in that way, but the support that you give us just through your actions and words, and always being there when we need it. And so for that, I'm always grateful for what you do, and will continue to show up and visit. And I don't feel like I'm a visitor here. As much as I've come, I feel like this is family. So thank you again for always honoring us. And please pardon me. It is not a lack of gratitude. I just don't want you to get sick. Thank you all.
So if you'd like to contribute, please write Share the Plate in the memo line of your check or on your donation envelope. And thank you for your generosity. Thank you, Vicki.
This morning's offertory musical selection is On Die Musik by Franz Schubert for voice and piano, arranged for solo piano. And this poem by Franz von Schubert is a poem of gratitude to how music and art can give us strength and comfort in times when we're searching for motivation for our resilience. Beloved art, in how many a bleak hour, when I am enmeshed in life's tumultuous round, have you kindled my heart to the warmth of love and borne me away to a better world. Often a sigh escaping from your harp, a sweet celestial chord, has revealed to me a heaven of happier times. Beloved art, for this I thank you.
So would the ushers please come forward? I'm new at this. Kind of. Thank you. We sincerely appreciate these gifts, which reflect the generosity and the kindness of our community. And now, Deb Matherly.
Okay. It's been said, resiliency is the ability to bounce back and recover from a setback or difficult experience. Sound familiar? This morning I'll be sharing stories about a couple of people, some good quotes, and some expert suggestions for building personal resilience, community resilience, and how they interact with one another. So let's take a moment to just center ourselves again. Take a deep breath. Maybe close your eyes. Think for a moment about a personal, difficult experience. Maybe a death or illness, a job loss, accident, house damage. Now think about how you responded to and recovered from that event. Did you have help? Have you recovered? How long did it take? How did you feel once you recovered? Stronger? Relieved? Disappointed? Proud? Lucky? Unlucky? Grateful? Please keep in mind whatever event you thought about as we discuss resilience this morning. Viktor Frankl lived an eventful and resilient life. He survived 4 different concentration camps in 3 years in World War II, losing most of his family to the camps, then moved back to Vienna where he wrote, taught, and practiced psychiatry. If you're not familiar with his best-selling book, Man's Search for Meaning, you're encouraged to read it. Show of hands, how many here have read it? Okay, a majority. Well, good, at least half. Okay, great. Frankl saw 3 possible sources for meaning: in work, such as creating a work or doing a deed; in love, experiencing something or caring for another person; and in courage during difficult times. As Frankl said, those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. So definitely a resilience lesson. George Bonanno leads the Loss, Trauma, and Emotion Lab at Teachers College, Columbia University, New York City. He's the author of The End of Trauma, How the New Science of Resilience is Changing How We Think About PTSD. His research centers on how humans cope with loss, potential trauma, and extreme life events, and the factors that lead to resilience in the face of adversity. Now, Bonanno refers to potentially traumatic events, not traumatic events, because not everyone is traumatized by an automobile accident or a natural disaster, although some people are. To Bonanno, the key difference in response for any given event or type of event appears to be flexibility. It's our capacity to use whatever tools we have to adapt to the challenge. Some people may have symptoms or distress for months or years after experiencing a loss or a tragedy. However, on average, a majority return to equilibrium after a relatively short struggle. Bonanno has documented what he calls the flexibility sequence. First, assess the situation. What is the real problem and what do I need to do? Second, what's in my repertoire? What can I do? What tools or strategies do I have at my disposal? How can I use them? Third, monitor feedback. Did that work? If not, I'll try again, use trial and error. What other tools do I have at my disposal? The flexibility mindset says, I didn't want this to happen, but I'll get through it. I usually do. Trial and error learning is super important for us as well as for our kids. We have to try things and tolerate mistakes. It's how we grow and develop, as we saw in our story for all ages. Sometimes we fly. As Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 things that don't work. And as Nelson Mandela said, do not judge me by my success. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got up again. And as a card said, I bounced back with style, I flipped, landed, and sprained my ego. So, Robin Hanley Defoe, author of Calm Within the Storm, A Pathway to Everyday Resilience, affirms that we can do hard things and be okay. She defines the 5 pillars of everyday resilience as core competencies of belonging, perspective, acceptance, hope, and humor. Belonging, the size of the group isn't important. What matters is that we feel seen, heard, and supported by at least one other person. Perspective is having this beautiful alignment between our heart and our head to be able to make what matters most matter most. Acceptance is about deciphering what is within our control and what is outside of it. When we can shift from asking the why questions, like why me, to the action-oriented how and what questions, we can start to build momentum and take positive steps forward. Hope, as we sang in our prelude, is more than optimism. It is holding this deep trust that things can improve and that positive outcomes are possible. Humor is the wild card, the capacity to recognize and appreciate moments of joy, wonder, and merriment, even in the most difficult of situations and seasons. Our resilience as individuals, using skills we have honed over time, supports our resilience as a congregation and a community. Likewise, our resilience as a congregation supports our resilience as individuals. So what is community resilience? It is a community's ability to prepare for, withstand, and recover from adversity, whether that's a hurricane, an economic downturn, or a slow building pressure like climate change, much more than emergency response. A resilient community has strong social ties, functioning infrastructure, accessible health services and other services, and the collective capacity to bounce back when things go wrong. The concept has become central to how governments, planners, and public health agencies think about preparing for disruption. Of all the factors, social connectedness may matter most. For example, people who are regularly involved in each other's lives are better able to share news in advance and help one another after a major disruption. So you're working with neighbors, not starting from scratch. A resilient community can create a virtuous cycle of improvement and reinforcement. Conversely, a community lacking in basic systems like ready access to food and health care, or with unreliable infrastructure like vulnerable power and water or easily flooded roads, will have a much harder time recovering and being resilient in difficult times, even with good social connections. Holding our local governments, businesses, and institutions accountable for serving all communities within their jurisdictions with real parity will help increase trust and true resilience, so that you're so resilient is not a code for you're on your own, sorry. It's been said, resilience is built in ordinary times and tested in extraordinary ones. That holds true for communities and their many components, perhaps even more than for individuals. Taking steps towards community resilience, our UUCC Green Team is working on the UUA 2030 Green Sanctuary Climate Justice Initiative, focusing on the 4 interconnected essentials of climate action. These 4 essentials are community resilience, congregational transformation, justice, and mitigation. So please join our Green Team if you haven't already, and keep a lookout for your chance to participate later this year. Our chair for that is Sharon, sitting right there. Okay. My own hero for personal and community resilience is Richard DeVilder. Smart, straight-talking, charming, forceful, and resilient. Richard was born with no arms and no legs. His biological parents abandoned him in the hospital. He was spotted by Joan DeVilder, a single mother who had fostered other children, about 2 months after he was born, and she then adopted him. He learned to swim at 9 months and continued swimming throughout his life for safe and vigorous exercise. He got his first electric wheelchair at age 3 when he proved to the doctor that he could control it with his arm stub, and after that he was unstoppable. He traveled to work using his scooter and mass transit. There's an inspiring 15-minute YouTube video on a day in the life showing how he adapted from shaving himself to swimming with very limited caregiver help and as independent as humanly possible. So Richard was a panel member for the first 2 Transportation Research Board, TRB, projects that I led. So the first one was Communication with Vulnerable Populations, a Transportation and Emergency Management Toolkit. Now, this was a pivotal experience for me, locking in my love of applied research that can make a difference. At the onset of the project, Richard had a key role with the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services. By the end of the project in 2011, he was with the U.S. Department of Transportation in D.C. under President Obama, where he was the senior advisor for accessible transportation. For my second TRB project, a transportation guide for all hazards emergency evacuation, Richard was even more actively involved in the panel. For example, he had us emphasize that evacuation plans had to prioritize transporting the mobility devices as well as their users so as not to create a huge and avoidable problem at the other end, you can imagine. And you didn't want to get him started on special needs registries, a real hot button. Richard championed individual and community resilience as a fierce and articulate advocate for effective transportation for people with access and functional needs, what used to be known as special needs, especially in emergency situations. Accessible transportation is a good example of the types of everyday services that are needed in ordinary times in a community in order to be resilient in extraordinary times. Richard worked both sides of the issue. He would tell his staff, "I'm being tough on you now, so you don't have to live with the results of people dying later." And he told people with disabilities straight out, "You have to make your own plan, form your own team. If you just sit back and say, 'I'm disabled, people will take care of me,' you'll be dead." He also said, "I came to DOT with only one goal, and that is that access and functional needs is integrated into everything we do. And it's no longer a question, and it's no longer seen as special, but it's just what we do." Sad to say, these quotes are from Richard's obituary. He passed away in 2015 at the age of 46 of natural causes, but he left a major mark and led a very full and resilient life. Again, our resilience as a congregation supports our resilience as individuals. Likewise, our resilience as individuals supports our resilience as a congregation and a community. We have a further call to action. Historians trace El Niño effects to political and economic crises in ancient Egypt and the downfall of the Moche civilization in Peru more than 1,000 years ago. Severe El Niños in 1877 and 1878 brought droughts and famines across the tropics, including Brazil, Southern Africa, and China. Severe impacts in India were exacerbated by the British colonial rulers who continued huge grain exports from India, even as Indians starved, with the death toll rising to tens of millions. Well, another powerful El Niño is forming. Climate scientists are already sounding the warning for 2027 and 2028. Our agriculture is now more sophisticated than the 1800s and earlier, and we do have advanced warning. But our global system is currently precarious. Fertilizer shortages related to the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz are straining farmers. Rising energy prices related to wars in Ukraine and Iran are hurting budgets. Long-standing safety nets have been weakened by cuts in foreign aid to poor countries. Other countries like India are starting to prepare now. We should also start preparing as a nation and as a congregation. We should be alert, looking for opportunities to strengthen our community resilience, like through our upcoming Green Sanctuary Climate Action Program. We can work more closely with the South Carolina UU Justice Alliance, SCUJA, More Justice, and other community organizations to emphasize resilience and climate justice in our joint efforts. We must also be looking beyond our borders to bind together some of the frayed ties from USAID cuts and more. We can work with trusted partners like the Unitarian Universalists for Social Justice we support at Guest at Your Table, and others. We can be alert to policy issues such as advocating early aid to other countries to help them prepare, mitigate, and respond to disasters. We can work together, all of us, with our core values of interdependence, justice, equity, and generosity at the forefront, enacting love at the center. To wrap up, there are practices and strategies we can employ to increase our personal and community resilience, taking note of the meaning in our lives, taking stock of situations, and modeling teaching our kids to solve problems, try things, make mistakes, and try again, echoing lessons from last week's bridging ceremony as well. We treasure belonging, to serve others in community. That's who we are as UUs. We find perspective on what matters most. We accept what's in our control and what's not. We hold on to hope. We gratefully welcome humor. We work with others to strengthen our belonging, our community bonds, and the equity and resilience of our community systems. As we resolutely face the challenges and adversity ahead of us, let's practice, celebrate, and share our resilience and ability to bounce back from adversity with compassion and generosity as we continue to create community together. May it be so. Amen.
Our closing hymn is in the teal hymnal. It's number 1015, I Know I Can. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join in singing.
The prayer of our souls is a petition for persistence, not for the one good deed or single thought, but deed on deed and thought on thought, until day calling unto day shall make a life worth living. W.E.B. Du Bois.
I'm not going to try to do this from up there. As we extinguish this chalice at the close of our time today, may its light gently warm our hearts and guide our steps until we gather together again. Now, if you're willing and able, please rise for our congregational benediction. If you all can hear me. No, okay. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our congregational benediction. May the blessings of truth be upon us. May the power of love direct us, and may the peace of this community sustain us till we meet again. So we welcome our visitors again. Our time together has come to a close. Before you leave, please take a few minutes to welcome our visitors and greet those around us. And we hope nobody leaves, because we are all welcome to join us in the social hall for a potluck dinner. The end.